Kahnawake Survival School, where, as you can see behind me, there is a peaceful protest happening over a land dispute, and I say that lightly because right now things are still developing. So we're going to head down over here where there seems to be cutting of some trees and small brush. We're going to speak with Kahnawake Cross. He is one of the organizers of the peaceful protest, if you will. Now this is what started it all.
Watch your step here. I guess this is one of
where the poles were.
Now this is the land that I've been concerned
Watch your step.
about.
Come in a little bit closer because we're not mic'd. But so Kaida, what happened? I know this started to unfold over the last couple of days.
Well, for Friday, I passed by and I seen their workers here with yellow suits. Looked like they were coming here to do something, and so I stopped and I spoke to Trina Daibo, and she said that all they were doing was surveying the trees, cataloging what kind of trees were in here.
Now, Trina Daibo works for the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake, and she's involved with this survey that is being conducted on this property right now.
Yes.
Geological survey.
The geotechnical survey.
Geotechnical survey, okay.
And I came back on Monday. I passed by and I seen a boring machine sitting over here, and I messaged her to see why are they destroying the land here? And she said to me they're not destroying the land, and I came here. They said they weren't cutting trees. I mean, all this stuff last week was green. Now it's all destroyed. The vegetation's destroyed.
Come off the road just a little bit because I want to be able to hear him, and I want our viewers to be able to hear him, and it's a little bit loud.
So as I come down and walk down the road, I hear chainsaws going. And I kind of lost my temper, and I was very upset because I've been lied to since Friday, Monday. They kept on trying to postpone. They have meetings only next week because everybody's only available next week to meet, not today while they're destroying the property here.
Right.
So I come down here and I see the guy come here. All these trees are pushed down. They cut this tree. They're cutting brush in here. Here's some of the trees that they cut.
Are they making like a path?
Well, yeah, because the machine's like it's like a little tank. It's running on tracks, so it's coming through here to go to their locations and put their holes. I mean, coming here. I mean, they're talking about how this thing is all like void areas in here of the forest. Well, yeah, it's a forest. That's how it is, you know.
So, just so we're clear, there is a study that is being conducted to look at the possibility of a building going up here for the cultural center and a theater and a museum.
Yeah, it's a multi-purpose business venture because this is deemed commercial.
Right.
Like there's no. I mean, the way I understand it, that culture center and the Turtle Island would pay rent to this building. That's as far as I know.
Okay. So you're opposed to anything being built here, or is it just?
I'm opposed to anything being built here. It's 47,000 square feet. Parking, road. I believe that's what they told me. Parking, road, and building.
Okay.
Now they're telling me that they're not going to use more than 47,000 square feet to build this. But I mean, I've been in construction. You have to take out more land, more trees to be able to maneuver around these buildings to be able to build them. So I mean, I'm estimating double the square footage just to build it. Double the square footage. You're talking almost 100,000 square feet, which is basically almost 3 acres, I believe.
So you can come in a little bit closer and just go right.
No.
So what? So Christine Zachary was Mohawk Council of Kahnawake chief. Christine Zachary was here this morning. She came down on site what was her reaction, or how did she deal with the situation? Like, what did she have to say?
Well, yesterday in our meeting, all the entities involved, the MCK, the KOR, and the environment, all agreed that this is a great project to preserve and to understand the environment, to preserve our medicines, to preserve the things, and they will proceed with the geotechnical survey today. So, I mean, I said that it's madness to want to destroy the environment that you're actually defending to protect. And nobody sees the problem with this. The environment, office, it was Lynn Jacobs. I mean, she's one person. The culture center, Lisa Phillips, and Regan Tarbell. And the MCK was Billy Daibo, Christine Zachary Diome, and Trina C. Daibo as the technical officer.
So,
I mean, you can see the trees, maples, young maples here being cut, trees over here being cut, all in the process to finish this feasibility study by June 30th. Now they need this study to go and seek funds, or to see if this is even a viable area to put the building. It might not even be, but they're still going to destroy it. Trying to find out.
Study.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a concern. What would be the alternative now? Like, so you think that this is not the right site for the cultural center to be built here? Then what? What is the solution?
Well, there's many locations in town. You have the Lights by Blackberries. That area is deemed commercial for Dewaduni Zakta. The end of the 207, Dewaduni Zakta bought 7 or 8 acres off of private individuals to build an $80 million gas station. Where's the money for language and culture? $80 million gas station and hotel to compete with a local businessman. Dewaduni Zakta wants to take away people's ability to feed their families. They want to be in business when all they should be is their support. Now, they've been deemed this land commercial from here down to, I believe, the Saint Gaston. All this land should be deemed an environmental reserve to be protected forever, never be touched by any business. I mean, there's enough private people that are doing the business, but the council wants to be in business. Oh, sure, they put it off to the Dewaduni Zakta, but I mean, what are they? They're an arm of the MCK.
You've said a mouthful there too, and it was my understanding that DEWA is actually not developing projects. I could be wrong, but that they had since changed their scope of what they were doing. But there is a lot of discussion in the community about private entrepreneurship and whether or not the Mohawk Council should be in business, or I think that's a great discussion. But for the purposes of this story, obviously we're trying to, get to the bottom of it. What is happening here now? So you guys have set up a peaceful protest. You have fellow community members that are joining you. I think this is only starting to get out now. I think now that we're alive, people are going to understand more of the scope of the story. Yeah. So what's next? What would you like to see happen?
Well, I mean, what I would like to see happen is them to take their trucks and leave and not come back here. Okay. Leave this area as is and never touch it. I mean, I've offered dollars to be put in for the exact reasoning to have this that they talked about. Preserve the medicine, teach about the wetlands, all these things. I said, I'm in support of it and I'll put money towards it. But don't destroy this forest. This is one of the, it's all we got. MCK controls 15% of the total land base in Kahnawake. That's 2,250 acres. I mean, does that mean all of it's gonna go?
Right.
I mean, what are we gonna be left with? We have the building next to the tunnel. All gaming establishments in there. Where was their culture and language taught then? Why don't we have a dedicated floor for our people in there? It should be free. It's a national building. The money was there, put there for our people. But are we allowed in there? Do we use it? No, we're not even allowed there. We're not even allowed there. If a guy at the door, you can't even get in the door. That building should be taken over and given to Radu Vanirats, the culture center, the theater group, and next door you could build a beautiful museum and have all the parking you want for all the buses and all the tourists you want, and explain to everybody how they stole our land for the seaway, and that our generation now, if we were there then, we wouldn't let that go through.
Right.
People would have to die. People would have died then if they were here now. Now we have the chance here to save our land, and this is all we got. This land was given by my son's great-great-grandfather. Survival school end there. It was a Bordeaux farm that was given to survival school for the purpose of preserving our language and culture, and then now they're gonna give it up to commercial buildings.
So what did, you can step in just a tiny bit because I think you're having a sound issue, right? Oh, no? Okay. So what did Christine Zachary-Diome say at the end of the day? Now we're talking about Mohawk Council of Kahnawake Chief Christine Zachary-Diome, who came down to visit the site this morning and have some discussion on the issue. We're going to try to talk to her in a little bit, but if you can just let us know, like, what did she have to say? How did you guys end it?
That I had too many issues on the table. I mean, but there's one issue, it's the land. But then she wants reasoning. She talks about why we should have culture, but it goes further back into the MCK overstepping the people's wishes. Right from the first time they opened MIT, they had no casino from that time on, and they managed to get one of the world's biggest casino hosting companies ever. So it goes from there to another spot, and then now we're here. Now it's the land. Now we're here for the land. I mean, we let a lot of things go because, well, it's not worth to fight for gambling. It's not worth to fight for this reason. But this is our land. This is all we have. We've been put on a postage stamp by Canada, and this is all we have. This is our community land. 2,200, they said it's 15%, and there's 12,000 acres in town. I'm not sure, but by the numbers they gave me, so 2,250 acres. That's our community land. This is all we got.
Well, thank you for taking the time for me this morning. Okay, so we're broadcasting here live. We're near Kahnawake Survival School. There's peaceful protests going on. Just to kind of recap over what looks like cutting of trees and brush here to do a geotechnical study to see if this land is feasible for a building for the cultural center, museum, and possibly a theater. We spoke to Guy Cross just now. He's a community member here in Kahnawake and has concerns over whether or not this land should be used, should it be sustained, should it not be touched. I think at this point we're live, so as the day goes on, we're looking for feedback from the community on their thoughts on this story. We're also going to be hopefully reaching out to the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake, maybe talk to Christine Zachary-Diome, who was down here this morning, and try to get more details on this story. Right now, the work has been halted. There is an awful lot of peacekeepers, Kahnawake peacekeepers and workers that were supposed to be performing the study this morning, yesterday. This all has been played out since Friday. Right now we're Tuesday, and it's still in development. So as long as we keep going and we're going to have more details, we'll be bringing you what we know in a matter of hours. So stay tuned. I'm Regan Jacobs reporting for First Nations TV.